Alright, everyone, good morning. Today is Friday, June 21st, 2024 at 09:52. And today we have our day one outlook that we do need to look at here. Today we have a day one outlook of two different slight risk areas. We have one small one out here, a little bit of Arizona, a little bit of New Mexico, but Utah and Colorado. And then we have also one extending from Montana down through Wyoming into Nebraska and South Dakota, down into Colorado a little bit. Then it goes over to Iowa and Minnesota and Wisconsin. We do also have a marginal risk extending from basically Arizona out through Utah, Colorado, Wyoming, out to Montana, Nebraska, and South Dakota, into Minnesota, down through Iowa and Wisconsin. A little bit of Illinois, if you can see that there. And we also have a marginal extending from Michigan over to Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York State, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and a little bit of Vermont, if you can see that. And a little bit of New Hampshire, if you can see that. So let's see what we've got going on here. I think I covered everything. So let's see what we've got going on here. We got St. Paul, Madison, Sioux Falls, Billings, and Rochester under a slight. And Detroit, Milwaukee, Denver, Cleveland, and Minneapolis under a marginal. That's what city we've got going on for this risk area today. Let's see what we have. So it looks like over here we got a 2% tornado risk. Across a little bit of Arizona, a little bit of Utah, Colorado, and a little bit of New Mexico. We also have a 5% tornado risk. A little bit of South Dakota. Yeah, a little bit of South Dakota, Nebraska. Mainly in Iowa and Minnesota and Wisconsin. Those are the 5% area. But of course, we have another 5% area up here in Montana. That just caught me. So two different 5% areas. And then of course 2% is stretching from Montana all the way down through Oklahoma. Not Oklahoma, what am I talking about? Down through Wyoming, South Dakota, Nebraska, and a little bit of Colorado here. Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. That's what we have going on here today. Let's see what it looks like here for today's tornado risk. So Sioux Falls, Billings, Rochester, Great Falls, and Lakeville have a 5%. And Minneapolis, St. Paul, Madison, Sioux City, and Bloomington have a 2%. So definitely I would say an isolated EF1, EF2 tornado could be possible across the area. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you do stay safe from that anyway. Moving on to today's wind risk. We have a 15% from Arizona through New Mexico, a little bit of New Mexico, through Utah and Colorado. We also do have a 15% stretching from Montana down through Wyoming into South Dakota, Nebraska, Colorado, Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. And of course, we have the 5% out here across parts of Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York State, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, a little bit of Vermont, and New Hampshire. Also the 5% extending from down through Arizona all the way through up into Montana and out as far east as Wisconsin. So let's see how bad this part is. So St. Paul, Madison, Sioux Falls, Billings, and Rochester have a 15%. In Detroit, Milwaukee, Denver, Tucson, and Cleveland have a 5%. Definitely, I would say damaging winds of 65 to 80 miles per hour could be possible, but they can't be ruled out. And we also could just see 60 to 70 miles per hour in the brown 5% risk areas. Let's see today's hail risk. Hail risk, there is a hatched 15% in Montana. Looks like that's where the main threat's going to be for hail. But we do have it extending from Montana through Wyoming, South Dakota, Nebraska, Colorado, out into Iowa and Minnesota. We also do have the 15% down here in Arizona, a little bit in New Mexico, mainly Utah, and a little bit of Colorado. 5% extending from Arizona through New Mexico, Utah, Colorado, Wyoming into Montana, South Dakota, Nebraska, Minnesota, Iowa, and Wisconsin. That's what areas we have under this. So let's see here. So Billings, Great Falls, Laurel, and Lewistown have a significant severe Sioux Falls, Billings, Sioux City, Great Falls, and Cheyenne have a 15%, and Milwaukee, Denver, Minneapolis, Aurora, and St. Paul have a 5%. So I would definitely say, especially in this hatched area, we could be some baseball size hail possible. Um, and then in the 5% area, I'd say 1 to 2 inch hail possible. So that stay tuned for that. Be sure to be, Anyway, here we have a summary from the Storm Prediction Center. Let's see what it says. It says scattered strong to severe storms are expected from parts of the northern high plains into the upper Mississippi Valley, mainly this afternoon into evening. Scattered strong to severe thunderstorms are also possible across the Four Corners vicinity. A few strong storms may also occur for parts of the lower Great Lakes to southern New England. Anyway, that's basically what the Storm Prediction Center has to say for today. Stay weather aware and stay safe, as we have those risks in effect for today. So, stay weather aware and stay safe. And I will see you in tomorrow's video.